It is the highest number of bike thefts in years.
Now Madison Police is working with a local group to bring down a troubling trend. Mary Jo Ola is in downtown with more. Good morning.
Good morning, Rob and Charlotte. And like I said, they've seen more than 200 bikes stolen just since June alone, and it's a trend they've been seeing over the past few years. So with us this morning is Detective Lori Anderson with City of Madison Police. Tell us more about it. So, Detective, what is the problem that we're seeing these days, and what do you think is the cause?
Well, we have an uptick in the theft of bikes. I'm not really sure what the cause is, but we certainly are trying to do some prevention efforts along with the Bike Federation. And we fortunately have a couple of databases that we can do some searches on as far as how to recover the stolen bicycles. And I'm here this morning to get the word out to the public, that the bicycling public, that some of the information that we need for the police department to help them recover their bikes, and how to report those crimes.
And obviously some of these bikes have been stolen when they were locked up, and I know we have a couple of bikes here that they were here when we showed up. And Detective, if you could show us maybe some of the vulnerable spots that are seen here. Okay. So for starters, I know this one, we were talking about the lock that's right near the front.
And these locks here can be defeated pretty easily. And I mean, obviously, you know, there are good and better locks. Unfortunately, if you have a motivated thief, they're going to get your bike. But so, there are certainly some prevention, things that you can do to prevent that.
Mm-hmm. So this is a lock that we might want to stay away from if you're investing in.
It can be cut through pretty easily with bolt cutters, or even some of them have like Dremel saws, some pipe cutters and that kind of thing that we've seen as far as burglarious tools, if you will.
What about the one next to it? Is it the same thing?
Yeah, same thing. This is a pretty thin lock, and I know that the part of the attraction to these is that they're inexpensive locks, and ideally, you pay a little bit more money for your lock, and you'll have a better lock.
And you're actually seeing these bikes pop up, and these stolen bikes pop up in pawn shops.
Correct. We've had about maybe half a dozen come recovered from pawn shops as well. Yes.
Well, and obviously you're working to combat the problem. We'll talk a little bit more about that later in the show. So thank you so much, Detective, for being with us this morning. And if you do find that your bike has been stolen, what you can do, guys at home, is to report that on City of Madison Police's website as a self-report, and they'll get that information and work with that case as they come in. So Robin Sharp will talk a little bit more about this trend as the show goes on.
Okay, thank you. Madison Police are teaming up with a local organization in an effort to combat a recent rash of bike thefts.
Mary Jo is downtown with more. I got your big old U-lock with you this morning.
I do. I have a big U-lock, and I have a non-U-lock, which I don't know the official name for, but we'll get to that. But again, Rob and Charlotte, obviously Madison's a big bike community, and it's a growing problem that Madison Police is working to tackle. So with us this morning is Tom Klein, the Dayton County Director with Wisconsin Bike Fed, who's also working with the department. Yeah. So Tom, what is the partnership between Bike Fed and Madison Police that you guys are trying to get underway?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're really excited to work directly with the Madison Police Department on a bait bike program. The University of Wisconsin-Madison and other municipalities have bait bike programs, which have really been helpful in not only distracting thieves and making them think twice before stealing a bike, but also in educating bike owners on what types of activity they can do to eliminate bike theft.
And the bait bike program also helps them actually arrest bike thieves, correct?
Correct, yeah. The bikes have a little GPS unit inside the bikes, and if one of those bikes is stolen, Madison Police can track that bike and quickly recover it, as well as find the thief.
But on the owner's end, there's things that people at home can do themselves, and I see you and Lori, Detective Anderson, brought a couple locks. Can you explain the difference in what people are buying here?
Yeah, so the reality is that if a bike thief wants your bike, they're going to get it. So what you can do, proactive ways that you can help ensure that your bike isn't the target, try and park it in a secured place. Well-lit areas with lots of traffic are great places to park your bike, and invest in the best kind of bike lock. So we see here that this lock was very easily defeated. with a very quiet and very quick cutting process that many thieves have.
How much does this one cost?
You know, these range from $10 to $20. Not a great lock for someone who's commuting around a big city. These locks are both much more substantial. This is what's called a U-lock, and it is much harder to defeat. And this one here is a chain lock. So this is a Kevlar coating with an actual cast iron train underneath.
Oh, so it's not just this rope
Correct.
thing. Okay.
Yeah, and both of these locks come with warranties. If your bike is stolen, the manufacturers will actually replace the bike up to a certain value.
And real quick before I let you go, how much do those go for? And I guess when you're thinking about cost, what do you have to keep in mind?
Well, these range because of sizes between $30 and $75, and $30 and $75 as well. Really, for many commuters, the bicycle is an important investment, and whether it's worth a couple $100s or $1,000, having it stolen, it's a violation, and it can certainly feel like it throws your week off balance. So it's just let's protect our valuables and keep commuting the bicycle.
All right, Tom Klein, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Again, and Robin Charlotte, obviously, you get what you pay for, and if you make the extra effort, you're going to try and keep your bike safe. So we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you very much, Mary Jo.
It is the highest number of bike thefts in years in Madison.
Yep. Now Madison police are working with a local group to bring down a troubling trend. Mary Jo Ola is in downtown Madison with more. Good morning.
Good morning, Charlotte and Rob. And Madison has seen more than 200 bike thefts since the beginning of June. And as we all know, Madison's a big bike community. And so it's a troubling thing to see when so many people depend on it to get to work or school. So with us this morning is Detective Lori Anderson with City of Madison Police, as well as Tom Klein, the Dane County Director for Wisconsin Bike Fed. So thank you both so much for joining us. And Detective Lori Anderson, I'll start with you. What is the problem that you guys are seeing here in Madison? What's going on?
Well, we've definitely seen an increase in bike thefts, and we are reaching out to the Bike Fed and to the community to help us prevent some of these thefts. It's about the prevention, the locks, the correct use of locks, and now we're trying to also catch these thieves and create a bait bike program in the city.
And Tom, can you talk a little bit about what this bait bike program would do and other efforts between the partnership?
Yeah, so the idea with the bait bike program is to try and catch thieves in the act, but also to encourage those through education who are locking their bikes around the city of Madison, that there are simple things they can do to help ensure that their bike doesn't get stolen.
What are those?
Yeah, so for starters, investing in a better lock than these traditional cable locks is one thing you can do, but making sure that you lock your bikes up in a well-lit area, in a heavily trafficked area, inside if you can. And taking the time to properly lock them up to a proper bike rack through the front tire, things like that, just to help ensure that thieves look at your bike and move on to the next one because it looks too challenging.
And so obviously what we've seen here is that, you get what you pay for, since this one you said was how much?
These range, $10 to $20 for these cable locks, and they're not very up to the challenge, pretty quick and easy to get through.
And Detective, if I could go back to you, what are you seeing with these stolen bikes? Where are they ending up? Who's doing them?
Unfortunately, we only have a few thieves that we know of. Not even necessarily the thieves that we know of, but we know that some people have pawned the bikes. Unfortunately, some of them have left town. And it's very difficult to prove the theft of the bike because we don't have any video per se or an eyewitness watching the theft occur.
But there is a bit of good information that people can get themselves when it comes to, if they find themselves in this situation. What would that be?
As far as reporting the bike once it's stolen, is that what you're asking? I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Yeah, you had mentioned earlier something about a serial number.
Yes. So it's a very easy self-report online that they can go to the City of Madison Police Department's website. Filling out some basic information about the bike, when they last saw it, when they know that it was missing, and the serial number is key.
So very good things to keep in mind when people are buying their bike. Detective, thank you so much. Tom, thanks again.
Thank you.
And so Robin Charlotte, like she said, very simple steps to take if you ever find yourself in this situation. Back to you.
Very good information. Mary Jo, thank you.